Hey there, folks. Today, I want to dive into something profound, a psychological truth that can shift how you see love, relationships, and, most importantly, yourself. This is Carl Jung's warning to men. But honestly, it's a lesson for all of us. Buckle up. Because we're going on a journey to face some hard truths, unpack the illusions of love, and discover the path to real freedom and wholeness. Let's get started. Part 1, the first truth: she never loved you. Let's kick things off with a truth most guys don't want to admit: she didn't love you. She loved the idea of you, the version of you she created in her head. When a woman comes into your life, she often sees something in you, a spark in your eyes, a hint of mystery, or a sense that you've got potential to be someone extraordinary. In that moment, you're not just a regular guy. You're a blank canvas. And she's ready to paint her dreams and fantasies onto you. She might say things that hit you right in the heart: you're different. You make me feel safe. Or there's something special about you. And you buy it. You think, finally, someone sees the real me. But here's the brutal reality: she's not seeing you. She's seeing what she wants to see. This isn't about her trying to trick you. It's happening on an unconscious level. She's projecting, a concept Carl Jung explored deeply. Projection is when we take our own desires, fears, or idealized images and slap them onto someone else, instead of seeing them for who they really are. Picture this: you meet a woman at a bar. You're confident, cracking jokes, and she's eating it up. She starts thinking you're the guy who's going to bring excitement, security, or maybe even change her life. But she doesn't know that on other days, you've got doubts, bad moods, or quirks that make you human. She's falling for an idealized version of you, a role you didn't even know you were playing. Ask yourself, what does she love about me? Is it the real me? Or an image I'm trying to keep up? If you feel pressure to always be perfect, that's a red flag you're being projected onto. Test the waters, share something real, like a small insecurity or a tough day. If she pulls back, she might be in love with the fantasy, not you. If she leans in, that's a good sign. Part 2, projection: when love is an illusion. Projection, as Carl Jung described it, happens when someone hasn't dealt with their inner baggage, their fears, wounds, or unmet needs. Instead of facing those things, they unconsciously dump them onto someone else. And in romantic relationships, projection can be a silent killer. She didn't fall for you because of who you are. She fell for who she imagined you could become. She's in love with the role you're playing, maybe the hero, the protector, or the perfect guy. And you, wanting to be loved, try to keep that role going for as long as you can. But eventually, you get tired. You can't be that perfect version forever. You start showing your flaws, days when you're unsure, moments when you're vulnerable. And then what happens? She changes. She pulls away, gets distant, maybe even cold. Not because you messed up, but because you no longer fit the script she wrote for you in her head. This isn't betrayal. It's disillusionment. The fantasy crumbles, and she's not grieving the real you. She's mourning the loss of the image she projected onto you. Think about a couple in the honeymoon phase. The guy's always showing up with a smile, telling great stories, and being super attentive. She believes he's the one who'll always make her happy. But one day, he opens up about a rough patch at work or admits he's feeling insecure. Suddenly, she's irritated or withdrawn. It's not that he's not good enough, it's that he's not matching the perfect man she imagined. And guys, this goes both ways. Men project, too. Maybe you want her to always be sweet, sexy, or nurturing, like a character in a movie. When she's cranky or stressed, you feel let down. That's your projection at work. Spot projection: if she only loves you when you're unconfident, happy, successful, ask yourself if she'd stick around for the real you. Talk it out, have an honest convo about expectations. Ask, what do you love about me? and see if her answer reflects who you really are. Check yourself. Are you projecting your own fantasies onto her? Are you expecting her to be perfect to fill a void in you? Part 3, Animus, the man in her head was never you. Jung took this a step further with a powerful concept called the animus, the unconscious masculine archetype that lives in every woman's psyche. The animus is shaped by her childhood, culture, media, and unmet emotional needs. It acts like a filter, deciding who she's drawn to and who she pushes away. Here's the tragic irony: the animus is rarely rooted in reality. It often craves idealized figures, the mysterious guy, the powerful guy, the emotionally unavailable guy. These traits might pull her in, but they can also lead to toxic relationships that hurt her in the long run. When she chooses you, she's not really seeing you. She's trying to cast you in a private movie she's been rehearsing since she was a kid. And when you stop playing that part, when you show your human side, with flaws and real emotions, she doesn't rewrite the script. She recasts the role. Imagine a woman who grew up with a strong but distant father. Her animus might fixate on men who seem in control or aloof. She's drawn to a guy who fits that vibe. But when he opens up about his fears or struggles, she loses interest. It's not about him, it's about her animus rejecting anything that doesn't fit the mold. The animus isn't set in stone, though. It evolves as a woman grows and works on herself. A mature animus seeks real connection and authenticity, not just a fantasy. And guys, you've got your own version of this, the anima. Your unconscious feminine archetype. It shapes who you're attracted to, often based on unresolved needs or cultural influences. For example, a man with an immature anima might chase women who remind him of his nurturing mom. But when she shows independence or a strong personality, he feels uneasy. That's his anima at play. Understand animus/anima. Ask yourself if you're drawn to someone because they fit a mold in your head. Is she trying to make you play a specific role? Be real, share your true values and desires instead of trying to fit her fantasy. This helps you both see if the relationship is grounded in reality. Question: culture, movies, books, and social media shape your animus or anima. Ask yourself if what you're chasing comes from you or from external influences. Part 4, the problem isn't her, it's you. Now we hit the toughest truth of all. You knew. Deep down, you felt the pressure from the start, the pressure to impress, to perform, to be more than you are. You sensed something wasn't quite right, but you went along with it. Why? Because you were scared. Scared of losing her. Scared of being alone. Scared that without her, you wouldn't be enough. That fear led you to play the part. You adapted. You softened your edges, hid your fire, and buried your truth, all to stay chosen, to feel like you mattered. But here's the harsh reality: the more you mold yourself to fit her fantasy, the more you lose your presence, that inner strength, that unique energy that makes you, you. And when your presence fades, you become replaceable. Picture a guy in a relationship where his girlfriend only seems happy when he's killing it at work or acting confident. He starts hiding his bad days, his doubts, just to keep her smiling. But that doesn't just hurt him, it weakens the relationship. No one can keep up an act forever. Presence is what sets you apart. It's not about looks, money, or status. It's about living authentically, embracing your strengths and flaws. When you give that up, you don't just lose your appeal to her, you lose yourself. Face your fears. Write down your biggest fears in relationships: fear of rejection, fear of not being enough. Naming them is the first step to overcoming them. Be real, share a piece of your true self, like a fear or a flaw, and see how she responds. This shows you if she can love the real you. Build presence, spend time on yourself, meditate, journal, or do things that reconnect you with your core values. Part 5, Individuation, the brutal path back to yourself. Jung didn't hand out warm fuzzies. He gave you a map, but it leads inward. He called it individuation, the lifelong often painful process of becoming whole. Individuation means facing everything you've buried, your shame, your weaknesses, your anger, your need to be validated. It forces you to wrestle with the question most guys dodge their whole lives: who am I when no one's watching? This journey isn't for the faint of heart. It strips away every identity that isn't yours, every mask you wore to be loved, every story you told yourself to avoid the silence. But when you sit in that silence long enough, you start to hear something deeper, your own voice. The one you've silenced for years. That's where freedom begins. Not freedom from her, but freedom from illusion, the illusion that you need someone else to feel whole. Think about a man who's spent his life pleasing others, his parents, his friends, his partner. He's always trying to be what they want. But inside, he feels empty. Individuation is the journey to reclaim himself. It might start with small steps, like spending time alone, writing down his thoughts, or facing emotions he's pushed down. For example, a guy might realize he's been hiding his anger because he's afraid of being rejected. When he learns to accept and express that anger in a healthy way, he becomes more confident, no longer needing others' approval. Start small, spend 5 to 10 minutes a day journaling about your feelings or thoughts. Ask, how do I really feel today? Face your shadow, identify an emotion or memory you've been avoiding, maybe shame about a failure or anger towards someone. Write about it or talk to a trusted friend. Find meaning, engage in activities that connect you to your core values, art, sports, or helping others. Part 6, when you're whole, you're no longer picked, you choose. Here's the beautiful paradox: when you stop needing others to define your worth, when you stop performing to be loved, that's when you become truly magnetic. But not to everyone. People still caught up in projection will call you distant, unavailable, or even cold. What they really mean is, they can't control you anymore, and that scares them. But in time, you'll meet someone different, a woman who's walked through her own shadows, burned her own illusions. She won't need you to play a role or carry her soul. She'll stand beside you, not as a goddess demanding worship, but as a real human being, grounded in her own journey. When you're whole, you don't get sucked into relationships built on need or fantasy. You choose connections based on mutual respect, authenticity, and growth. This applies beyond romance, to friendships, family, everything. For instance, a man who's gone through individuation might walk away from a passionate but toxic relationship because he knows it doesn't align with his true self. He's not afraid of being alone anymore, he's found peace within himself. Practical takeaways: set boundaries, learn to say no to relationships or behaviors that don't honor your values. Seek true partners, look for people who encourage you to be real, not play a part. Keep growing. Individuation is a lifelong journey. Stay curious, keep learning, and stay connected to yourself. Final part, the last choice, fantasy or freedom. Jung once said, people will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own soul. You can keep playing the game, chasing validation from people who don't even know what they want. Or you can stop. You can look inward and make the scariest, most liberating choice a man can make, to become real. When you choose this path, you're free from projection. You won't lose yourself just to keep someone else. You won't chase, beg, or perform. You'll stand tall, steady, whole. And when love comes, it won't come to complete you. It'll come because you no longer need completing. Final takeaway: this journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. Start today with one small step, like taking a moment to listen to yourself. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. Drop your thoughts below, and let's keep walking this path to becoming our truest selves together.